Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo. Sorry we missed you guys last week. We took the week off because I was in England doing all sorts of fun stuff. I actually got to hang out with some Stoopers in person. I got to hang out with David Villamartin. I got to hang out with Mr. Tom. I hung out with Aqualma, Bandy's wife. We talked about Bandy a lot. I even sat in Bandy's chair and had a little smoke in his honor. So big up to him. Good to talk to Aqualma and to see you guys in person. But I am back here in the States. No more big old pints of warm, kind of flat beer that actually works. It actually works.
This is a man that likes to talk. Anybody that will listen to him.
And good, we got Bandy on the show straight away. Good to see him on there. Rest in peace to our Stoop crew member right there. So it's time to switch over to a margarita. There we go. Director John, very good to see you.
It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, here we go. Cheers.
You got that Coors Original, man. Yeah, I didn't think they still made that.
What's this stuff? Beer? I never had it before.
Yeah, I think I'll switch to beer. This is like candy. Not too sure about that. Anyway, I am back from my week stint in England. It was a crazy, wild, fun time there. I actually got to go to the game. I was in Manchester, sitting in the home side, wearing no Arsenal gear whatsoever. I had my Arsenal coin in my hand, just rubbing it. It's like it doesn't say anything now because I was sitting there rubbing that thing for so long. And crazy environment. And it was well worth sitting on my hands and being quiet to see that match. And I know there's lots to talk about this week. We even had midweek Carabao Cup matches. There was Champions League matches that we missed. But the big talking point for most of the Premier League fan bases this week has to be that dirty team, the whining, whinging team called Arsenal. And we are back, baby. Arsenal, everybody hates us again. And I love it. I love it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Everybody wants to tell Arsenal how they should play if they go down to 10 men, how they have dark arts that they're using. All of a sudden, Mikel Arteta isn't the Basque Dracula, he's Voldemort or something like that, using tactics that nobody's ever seen before. These tactics are, oh, I can't believe he's playing this way. When it's like, come on, son. Diego Simeone has been praised and lauded for a decade, easy, for using these dark arts. Jose Mourinho has trophy after trophy using these dark arts, and we hate watching it. But Arsenal does not play every match that way. To be fair, we have complained about Mikel Arteta not changing his tactics enough and being stubborn and not making changes. And then all of a sudden we see him make some changes and we see him try to protect a 1-goal lead away at the best team in the world, the best team in England for 6-7 years straight. All of a sudden us protecting a lead is, oh my god, these are a bunch of pansies. Like, get off it. Now, lots happened in that game. I have to say, watching that first half of Manchester City versus Arsenal, it had to be the best football I had ever seen in that first half. There were 10-minute periods where Arsenal couldn't touch City. Then there was 10-minute period where that was classic City, new era City of Erling Haaland slip happened against my club. But when you see a goal like that, you're like, Savinho did some magic to make a little space for a little assist in through to Erling Haaland, who had incredibly for them. Little injuries from Rodri. Hate to see a player like that go down from an off-the-ball injury. The only dark knee fell out.
I love that your internet keeps coming in and out, so I don't have to listen to this garbage.
Starting to freeze. I'm talking too fast. My internet can't catch up. Let me get a. For my internet down here in the basement. For those of you who don't know, the city is trying to sell my house and kick us out of here. So they're probably cutting the internet a little bit slow to try and get us to move. But not going to happen. We will do this show and continue this show until we are actually kicked out. So I hope you guys can hear me and I'm not freezing out. Anyway, let's get back to it. A lot of complaints about the conspiracies, as Mr. Tom puts it, with the second yellow card, red card for kicking the ball away, which seems to only happen to Arsenal. It's happened twice this season, and it's only happened to Arsenal. Can I really complain? No, it happened. It actually happened. My only complaint here is that it happened after the allotted stoppage time had already gone through. It happened in the middle of the pitch where the referee, Michael Oliver, Mike Dean, God damn it, I'm forgetting which one of the tossers it was. The referee, when you're saying, I have no choice, he had a clear choice, which was to blow the whistle and say, that's time, and go get Leandro Trossard and tell him, you are on a knife's edge right now. That's how you protect the game from how he said it last year when he didn't send Kovacic off for 2 red card challenges, not kicking the ball away, a red card challenge, and then another red card challenge, which he only had a yellow card for. So if we're going to if we're going to not influence the game as a referee, he actually had an out there. He had a huge out. He could have blown the whistle and said, that's time. The ball was not in City's half. We weren't in the attacking one. It happened so quickly. I think blowing the whistle for halftime would have been the right decision, and it would have calmed the game down a little bit. Yet we would have been able to witness an incredible second half of football. And Arsenal very well may have lost that second half because we would have continued playing the way we were. I think that would have ended up with 4 or 5 goals each, the way we were playing and the way City were playing. But then all of a sudden we go out in the second half and it's 10 men behind the ball. What do you expect? So I've got plenty to say about all of this, but I'm not just going to speak to myself about this because I have other people who would like to participate in this conversation. So the first one I'm going to bring out today is the guy who was with me in England, hanging out. I don't know what part of the world he's in now. Let's get David in here. David, my lovely co-host, because Mark is absent today. David in San Francisco. Whoa.
In San Francisco today, yep. How we doing? My wife says that I spend more time with you than I do with her. But there you go.
Well, you know, you got to tell her he's worth it. He's worth it. You should.
every minute's a fun minute with Lolo.
We had a great time there.
Yeah, it's good.
I love that kit you got there. You bringing your yellow in.
Yeah, bringing the yellow today.
Did you make it to New Orleans, or are you going there this weekend?
No, I'm at San Fran. I'm at the game tomorrow morning at the Mad Dog in the Fog bar in Haight Street. And then
Scooby-Doo 2.
And then I've got New Orleans. I'm not sure when that is. That's in a couple of weeks' time or something. I'm not sure.
Mr. Tom. Watch yourself, Tom. All right, so David, you're playing the part of my co-host. This is usually when I let Mark get 2 seconds to talk until I interrupt him.
Well,
So what are your thoughts on my little monologue there? What are your thoughts on that City game? Because you were texting me saying what an amazing game it was as a neutral.
yeah,
So I'd love to hear some of your thoughts.
I thought it was a terrific game, and I don't see the problem with Arsenal playing the way they did. I thought they would do that. I mean, it makes sense, and you know, Manchester City had to break them down. It was that simple. It was a little bit like a training exercise, but what a good training exercise in how to defend. I mean, I thought Arsenal was superb, quite frankly. The game in the first half was brilliant. As you say, it ebbed and flowed one way, then the other way. It was an exciting game to watch as a neutral. It is a shame that he got sent off, but then maybe that just added to the little spice and it gives more to talk about and everything. So, and then of course we've got the things that happened after the game about Haaland throwing the ball at Gabriel as he's got his shirt over his head. He didn't know who. Yeah, I thought to me it's funny. It's a bit of shithousery, and it is what it is. Would Arsenal have been happy getting a point before the game? Probably.
Yeah.
More so than City getting a point.
Absolutely. And to me, like something that I witnessed in person was Manchester City fans and the City players celebrating a draw like they had won a trophy. And then I walk out and my phone's blowing up about how Arsenal are in the wrong. Arsenal are in the wrong for everything they did. Yet, if we were to celebrate a draw against City at home, it would be, oh, that's the mentality of losers. That's the mentality of losers. That's why they'll never win anything. That's why City's going to win. When I sat there and witnessed, 20, 10,000, 5,000 Man City fans while I'm waiting for the train, all being like, hey, we got him. Hey, we got him. Hey, good one there. And all of a sudden they're all happy because of that last minute equalizer. And I'm just like, what's with the double standard? And listen, why does everybody choose Arsenal to hate? You would think the team that has won it 4 times in a row, 6 out of the last 7 or even more than that, I don't know, I forget at this point. Wouldn't we all want them to lose? Wouldn't you think that like Liverpool and Man United fans and Chelsea fans would be on our side with it? Why is it Arsenal?
I'm going to stop there. Don't get drawn into the Arsenal victim. Because that's what we get a little bit from the Arsenal fans. And trust me, nobody hates Arsenal. They really don't. I mean, it's apart from maybe the Spurs fans, I would imagine. But I don't. Man U a little bit, but that was in days gone by. Maybe the media and everything are trying to stoke up the rivalry more between the two clubs as it used to be in the Ferguson Wenger days, which I think is a little bit difficult to do because of course you've got Guardiola and Arteta who of course work together and will be buddies and everything anyway, so there'll be no hatred there.
I think that's a big. I think that's a big possibility. That they want right now. There's no rivalry. They can. What do they talk up? The Manchester Derby. That's fucking nothing. They talk up the Merseyside Derby. That's less than nothing. And for the longest time, the closest one that has been active is the North London Derby. But for the past 2 seasons, at least the past 2.5 now, Arsenal haven't lost.
Yeah, they've
So
got more points.
is it really
Last year you got 4 points, no?
4 points? The year before we got 6.
Yeah.
It went from like 8 years without winning at their ground to never losing at their ground and winning more there than Ange has. So, listen, I'm all for this rivalry. I'm all for it. Talk to me 3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago, I would have loved to be in the conversation that we are on City's level. I think we finally are. I still think they're favorites to win. I still have a respect for Man City that they,
of course,
quite frankly, are the one of, if not the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Definitely in the Premier League. So for us to go and battle and go down a goal and then go down a man and still walk out of there heartbroken that we drew shows me the level that we're at, and I'm proud of my boys. I'm so proud of my boys.
Yeah, I think you should be.
Honestly, the shit talking after the game, the ball throwing, like us pitting Haaland as a bully and all that, bring it. I love it. I love it. That's the football that I miss. Then don't be giving fucking red cards for tapping the ball away. When shit like this is happening, let's play football. Let's fucking play football.
You and I, we text during the game a little bit, as you say, and we both agreed Trossard lost a brain cell, which he's always had that in him. Even in his Brighton days, sometimes he would do stupid things. Yeah. And that was a very stupid thing. I mean, first of all, the challenge.
It was the challenge. The challenge was enough.
It was a stupid challenge.
Yeah.
But then to go and kick the ball afterwards. So I think, although it might have been given for kicking the ball away, I think that it compounded the situation. When the referee thought, nah, can't have that.
He was like, look,
but unfortunately, he's already been booked.
Yeah.
If you've been booked once, you don't do that.
Yeah. My whole thing against the referee there is not that he sent Trossard off for that. It's that he actually had an out where the half was over. The half was over.
I think he got sent off in something like 45 plus 8. Something like that.
Yeah, plus like it was after the time, and the ball was in the center of the pitch.
Yeah,
you have so many outs. I recognize in the match with Declan Rice where he walks up and goes, "I have no choice. I have no choice. I have no choice." I felt a little bit more sympathy with that, and Declan Rice's was a bit more flagrant. Trossard's was just boom, boom, boom. However, he still kicked the ball away. So I understand. You got to do what you got to do. However, you had an out in what is the biggest match of the season so far, definitely. And City are losing at halftime, at home. Don't add fuel to the fire. Like, and it's the statements they said last year of like not wanting to influence the game or whatever they said by not. It's them making statements after they make a mistake that they then can't uphold later because those statements were full of fucking shit.
The question would be if the roles were reversed and it had been a City player who was on a yellow card.
I'd be screaming for the red.
And they had kicked the ball, challenge like that and kicked the ball away. Would he have sent him off? Being the home side team, would that have happened if that had been down at the Emirates? With that, you know what I mean? Suddenly, it's easy to send off the visiting team player, more so than the home team player.
Yeah.
So
now,
did that play into it?
If the roles were reversed, I can see myself at halftime screaming that he should have got sent off. But then as I'm waiting in line, getting a beer, going to the bathroom, going, you know what? He did the right thing because this is an incredible game and we're about to see an incredible second half.
You can say that now, but would you have said it at the time?
Yeah. Because it was a silly thing. It wasn't like the Kovacic challenge where the first one should have been a red card. Then he did a second challenge that could have easily been a red card, and it wasn't even a card.
He should have been
because
off.
he didn't want to send him off.
Yeah.
That I'd be frustrated. This would be like, oh man, we should have sent him off. We would be down. But I understand it and I respect it. He blew the whistle. Game, end of the half. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, David, we've got other guys here to bring on here.
Let's hear them.
So they've both been waiting. Look at that. Look at that big crybaby. So let's go ahead and bring on. We got a lovely special guest for you guys. Hardcore Arsenal fan in the house. His name is Mr. Tom. Just kidding. Stan the man. And Mr. Tom. Good to see you back in your proper habitat, Mr. Tom. It was weird seeing you in person.
Yeah, I'll see how it is. Hello, Stan. Hello, David.
Hello, Mr. Tom. It's been a while. How are you?
Yeah, it has been a while. I'm not too bad. Not too bad, thank you. Yeah.
All right. And as Mr. Tom just said,
sorry, I'm just
right before he came on, winning at Man City with 10 men isn't for everyone. That is correct. And Tom, I was sitting there at like the 95th minute going, fuck, now I have to write a poem. And then I was like, they equalized. Okay, I don't have to write a poem. It's
so
fine.
John Stones is the true
Put
hero.
that pen down.
In all seriousness, despite everything I've said, like for jokes and stuff, the reality is, as a defensive performance, it was nearly perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you put yourself in a situation that you didn't need to, but when you were in a situation, you were like, we have got to batten down the hatches and just contain them for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, for pretty much all that 45 minutes, that's what happened. I mean, eventually it then went to shit, but the fact of the matter is, defensively, you were really good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Stan, what are your thoughts on all this crap that we've been talking? Cheers, by the way, fellas.
Yeah, cheers.
Happy Friday.
And for those people that joined the pod during Lolo's monologue and didn't hear it from the beginning and may have come in at the part where he said, and I was sat there rubbing it for ages, he was talking about his lucky Arsenal coin. So I just wanted to clear that up before we got underway. But looking at the situation,
thank you. I forget Arsenal, that there is that like advertisement that they have to wait and click through. So maybe I need to.
How do you know? How do you know?
That is what she calls my lucky Arsenal coin.
So here's my take on it. At this moment in time, Arsenal are being over-reffed. Now, I can see everyone going, conspiracy theory. I bet he also thinks he has flat as well. I tell you why I say that, right? Towards the beginning of the week, there was an article in the Daily Mail. It was quite interesting where they told a story where last season, not this season, last season, a number of clubs in the Premier League took it upon themselves to write to the PGMOL to complain about Arsenal, how they played during games. So this is last season. In that letter, the phrases were used, like the things like the dark arts. Other clubs are saying to the PGML that Arsenal use dark arts, we time waste, and we're not playing the game properly. So for me, it's quite obvious to see that if they're getting numerous letters from Premier League clubs, they would have had a meeting about it. It would have been discussed. And I think now, because of that, because of the spotlight that's been put on us by the other clubs, referees are really taking a look at Arsenal, which, over the last 2 weeks, all I hear is, they're applying the letter of the law. They only seem to apply the letter of the law when it comes to Arsenal, because in the Rice sending off game and in the Man City sending off game, on both occasions before our players kicked the ball away, the opposition, they done it earlier in the match and it was let go. When it comes to Arsenal, no, we've got to apply the letter of the law. So that's why I think that Arsenal are being over-reffed, because of these letters that have been written by Premier League clubs to the PGML. We're being watched. Maybe in the back of refs' minds when it's an Arsenal game, they're being extra stringent with the rules and going by right down the line of the letter of the law, no matter what, to appease these clubs. So that's where I think we are. The other thing I wanted to mention as well, that when I've been listening to Talk Sport and, you know, media pundits talking about the situation, and you have people phoning in. If anyone phones in and uses the word corruption, they think that the refs might be corrupt or use that phrase, they're cut off straight away. They're cut off straight away, right? It's always like, no. I know you're upset, but let's not go down that road. We don't want to, you know, we don't want to go down. We don't want to go down that road. And people start talking about conspiracies, and that makes me laugh because they're carrying on like there's never been any corruption in football, ever. I mean, it happens all of the time, all over the world. Referees, Sepp Blatter, Platini, players betting on their teams to win or lose. So I don't understand why, as soon as corruption is mentioned, it's like taboo. You know what I mean? We got crooked judges, crooked policemen, we got crooked everything. Why can't there be crooked refs? And I actually think that refs like that Michael Oliver being able to go out to earn, like, you know, bags of dough over in the teams that play in the desert, for me, surely that is a conflict of interest. At the very least, that should be looked upon as a conflict of interest if you're able to ref in those two spheres. So I think, I think it should be looked at. It should be looked at, and I just think that we're being over-refed because the other teams in the Premier League, I don't know how many, I heard it was a number of them, decided to complain and whine about the way Arsenal were playing. And as for the tactics in that last game, I mean, what do people want us to do? We go down to 10 men away from home at the Etihad. What are we supposed to do? Play big, expansive football and lose to a cricket score? I mean, we're trying to keep it modest, right? We're trying to keep the score down and try and get out of there as many points as we can. You know?
Yeah, that whole narrative, Stan, is wild to me. Wild. The only team that does not sit back when they have the lead and go down to 10 men, the only team that doesn't do that is Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspurs. They're the only one who don't do that, like idiots, and then get battered afterwards. Like, as soon as I'm in the stands, pretending not to be an Arsenal fan, and
with steam like coming out of your ears.
The second half starts, and boom, 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 all the Arsenal players behind the ball, and there's City fans around me going, "Oh, look at this fucking lot! They're a bunch of pussies. Look at them. They're gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh, here we go." 45 minutes of this, 10 men behind the ball. Why doesn't he just play? That way we can beat him. And they're like, right? And I'm like, you're idiots. This is exactly what's going to happen. And Pep fucked up. Pep doesn't fuck up very much, but Pep fucked up. As soon as he saw them putting 10 behind the ball, he should have outsmarted Mikel Arteta and played it out. He should have played it differently. When it didn't work for the first 10 minutes of just pounding the ball in, you got to back it up. Listen, if it doesn't go in straight away, don't just keep pounding the door. You got to back up and you give it a little love first. You got to give it a little love. Pull the Arsenal players out. Every time we had a free kick and we would kick it long, that's when they had their best opportunity. So if I was Pep, I would have given us the ball. Let us take the ball up the pitch and then counterattack. But Pep was like, no, we're just going to drive it in the hole here. We're just going to fucking drive it in.
For years as well, all I've heard when you hear pundits of opposition teams talking about Arsenal after a match, if you want to get at Arsenal, all you've got to do is put it about. They don't like it. They've got a soft underbelly. Was the one, isn't it? They can't handle it. We've gone from being like soft teddy bears to being the bullies of the Premier League. It's like, well, what is it that you want from us? 1 minute we don't stick up for ourselves, and now we're bullies. It's like we've got 11. We put out 11 Joey Bartons in one team.
I love it. I love it. Bring it. Fucking bring it.
The thing is that I think that this game as well has changed the landscape. I think, up until this game, even as an Arsenal fan, and I would imagine players as well, when you're looking at the games that are coming up, you say, 3 weeks' time we've got Man City. Try and put that out of my mind until we get to it, sort of thing. Now we're counting the days down until they come back to the Emirates. We can't wait, and they brought that on themselves. I bet every player is relishing to play Man City again. because they know that they can get at them, because they were very much rattled in that game. They were rattled after the first goal, but when the second one went in, I was looking at some of the faces of Pep and the players. Walker, they were all over the place. They were kind of in disarray for a period of time.
They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it.
This is the longest you've ever been without talking.
He's taking notes. He's taking notes.
Absurd, John. It's fucking absurd. I just want to.
They're killing me.
No, you know what I'd like to do, right? So with all due respect, can I read a comment out from 12:26 a.m. UK time? Purely because I think it's interesting, and I partly don't understand it, so I want to read it because it's too Stan. But I'm hoping by reading it out, one of you will understand it, and maybe we can get some clarity on what this is asking. But Stan, they never mention the clubs, so don't you think it's a diversionary tactic by the PGMOL? And I hate that I know that word like it's off the back of my.
Well, my answer to that is
PGMOL.
I would say that my answer to that is if the PGMOL are spending their time in their offices working out diversionary tactics about Arsenal, why are they still concentrating on us for? Why are we under the spotlight? Why? Do you know what I'm getting at? Even if it is a diversionary tactic, why is it centered around Arsenal?
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I just like to finish by saying I love it. I love that every team hates us at the minute. I love this attitude. I don't want to be the Premier League darling. Never wanted to be. I love that we've got all the teams rattled, and I think that we've got such a split fan base and fractured fan base at times. I think this is the ideal opportunity where everybody's against us for every of the fan base just to come together as one. It's us against everybody else, and if we can win the Premier League this season, in spite of all of this, what a two fingers salute that would be to everyone. So that's where I am. I'm good. I don't want everyone to
Stan, can I just ask, who is this everyone? Who do you actually mean by everyone?
Or other managers that are writing to the PGML, you know, what the refs are saying. When I listen on the TV, for example, you know, Roy Keane was on, I think, yesterday, you know, saying that we've got a small club mentality. It just seems to be all of a sudden that we are the pantomime villains. You know, and we're not even the team that's got 115 charges against us. But for some reason, it's Arsenal now. We're twirling our moustaches and trying to tie the damsel to the railway tracks all of a sudden. And I love it. I'm not like, oh, everybody hates my club. I love it. I don't want everybody to love us because I think it makes us stronger.
As I said earlier, about maybe they just lack a real biting competition between the two sides, because what's happened in the last few years is that there's been competition between the two sides. It's not being too vitriolic, not like going back to the Arsenal scum days and all that sort of thing. And maybe the media and everything are just trying to make a little bit more spice, a little bit more spice. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think other clubs hate or other fans hate Arsenal. Probably a lot of other fans probably think it'd be nice for somebody else to win it other than City.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that we'd be. I
think so.
I thought that's what it would be. But from what I read online, everyone seems to be poking the finger about the way that we played in that last game, that, you know, the Mourinho tactics. But as we've just discussed, right, what are we supposed to do in that situation? You have to revert to a plan B.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of jokes about it. Like, I think a lot of people say
memes
that
and
stuff
gifts and all that.
Get a reaction, but deep down, 99% of teams would do exactly what you did in the same situation.
Absolutely.
If you don't do that, you have no chance of getting anything. Whereas you gave yourself a slight chance of getting something and you nearly got it. But like I've seen people, I'll see a thing, right? And again, I know it's to get a reaction, but I saw a thing on social media where it was basically they brought up all the times that Man City went, Liverpool had a player to send off against Man City. And they were like, oh, Liverpool still went on the attack. And it was like, yeah, and they lost 5-0.
Yeah, well, Arteta had the perfect comeback to that. He said, I don't know what you want. We tried it when Xhaka got sent off and we went down 5 men and we lost that game 5-1. That's what you would prefer? Cool. I'm not going to do that because I'm a Premier League manager and every fucking point counts. And the point against City is a point for us, but it's 2 points dropped for City. And that is more important. So Arteta's got his Taylor Swift on, shaking it off.
We're away from home, and when the final whistle goes, the Arsenal players have all got their heads hung, and the Man City players are running around the pitch like you say they've just won a cup final. So that really shows you the mentality of where the two teams are. We knew that we had an opportunity there to get another 2 points, and they're probably thinking that they had a narrow squeak, right? They were lucky to get a point.
Well, so, I tell you what, sitting at the Etihad, the entire second half, you could only hear the Arsenal side. The Arsenal fans were cheering so loud the entire second half, and the entire City fan base, if that's who they actually were.
What the empty had wasn't making noise. You're shocking me.
It might have been FC20 fans who got there even more days before the other lot who got in there.
There are also rumours circulating that Michael Oliver is going to be unveiled as the new bassist for Oasis when they do their tour. So you never know, right? But I do think that if you put it all together about Michael Oliver, the Kovacic incident which you went into, you know, where it's one rule for one rule for the other. The working out in Saudi Arabia, which doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth, and some of the decisions that he makes, I've come to the conclusion that when it comes to him as an individual, not all refs as a blanket, but him as an individual, he's either very inept and not very good at his job, or he knows what he's doing and he's manipulating it. It's one or the other. That's where I am with him. Mm-hmm. And whichever one it is, he shouldn't be refereeing in the Premier League. If he's not that good, he shouldn't have the job. And if he is, you know,
he's a good referee. He's a good referee.
Is he the one who doesn't want to impact the game by applying the rules? Is that what happened with him?
Yeah.
Like, I may forget. He didn't send off a player because he didn't want to impact the game, or
that was Arsenal City. That was Arsenal City. Kovacic had a red card-ish challenge.
He should have
They were calling it orange. They were calling it orange. His
about
first
impacting
one.
the game. Your job is to enforce the rules of the football match.
Exactly.
Yeah. His second one was the clearest yellow you've ever seen in your life, and it was also orange. And he only got a foul called against him, no yellow. And then afterwards, the PGMOL came out and said, we talked about it and discussed it, and it's about not putting a negative influence on the game or something like.
That's infuriating.
Yeah, but the thing is, can I just say,
the ball away?
Can I just say, when you've got the PGMOL, they're a law unto themselves, and they come out with the craziest decisions week in, week out. And sometimes you can sort of say, well, okay, it's a difficult job. It's in the heat of the moment, blah, blah, blah. But what it is, it's when after the game, and you have the organisation and Dermot Gallagher on Sky Sport coming out with all the bollocks about suddenly he flips more than a fucking fish on a sidewalk, you know.
You're referring to Ref Watch?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. 1 week it'll be, that's a stone bonker, blah, blah, blah. And then it's, no, that's not a freak, you know, and they really close ranks. That's what they do, you know.
For the benefit of Lolo and Stan, in England, Ref Watch is about 9:30 on a Monday morning.
Is that with Michael Owen?
They vary. They bring on the refs, and basically, I think it used to be Mike Dean, but it's usually Dermot Gallagher. And basically comes on and they go over the big talking points of refereeing decisions. But what really occurs is he basically defends the referee.
Backs him up, yeah.
And he'll flip. 1 week, an incident will be, well, no, that wasn't blah, blah, blah. He did this, and then the next week it's like, yeah, absolutely, that, but oh no, that's a definite fact. It's like, wow, this guy's.
I mean, for example,
he's
David,
a flip-flop.
Super clear example. Earlier in the match, foul was called, and Doku kicked the ball way out of bounds.
Yeah.
Nowhere near anybody.
And Declan Rice said to the ref, he just kicked the ball away.
All the Arsenal players turn around going, he just
No.
the ball away.
No. Can I just let me correct you on that? What he did, he kicked the ball back to where the free kick was to be taken from.
He kicked it away. It didn't end up. It didn't end up where the free kick was taken.
He kicked the ball where the ball was going to be, where the foul was occurred. The free kick was. Yes, he did.
They literally went and picked up the ball and brought it back to where it was.
Apparently, that's why he was not booked. It's because he actually...
So
he put it to where the free kick was. But the Arsenal players didn't.
He didn't.
Yes, he did. He did, Lolo.
No, he didn't. He kicked the ball back somewhere. They went and got the ball and brought it over.
Friday night discussing ball placement.
No,
but listen, all I'm saying is, listen, right now we're having this discussion about his intent, yet there's no intent for Trossard matters at all.
His intent was to knock the ball back to where the free kick was meant to be taken from.
I watched it happen. They went and got the ball. They had to go and pick up the ball from where he had kicked it. And bring it to the spot. There was time that was taken to go get the ball from where he kicked it and brought it to the spot. So
he was standing in his half. He was standing 5 yards in his half. The free kick occurred 5 yards into the Arsenal half. Arsenal were going to take it, and he knocked it back. He knocked it back. He kicked it. He kicked it.
No, he fucking kicked it. He
didn't hammer it. He didn't hammer it.
It doesn't matter. But what you're talking about is
intent. He knocked it back to where it was meant to go.
Out of space.
Declan Rice didn't hammer it.
What you're talking about is intent. We are able to look at his intent. So if you're able to do that, then you can see that Trossard goes up for a shitty challenge, lands, and kicks the ball to where Martinelli is running. The whistle blows, he lands and kicks the ball into open space where Martinelli is running.
There was over a second. There was over a second before he kicked the ball.
It was 0.7 seconds. It was 0.7 seconds.
No, it was 1.07.
No,
1.07. 1.07. Blew the whistle.
I'm just saying, if you're allowed to say, oh, we understand
heard the whistle.
What Doku
Lolo, you agreed. You agreed the other day on the text messages with me. He did a stupid thing. So you know that he heard the whistle and he kicked the ball away. Doku was knocking the ball back, and that's the difference.
Lolo. I got the text.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Doku was not.
I stand beside referee Oliver on this.
I'm just saying, did the ball go to the player? Doku kicked it, he caught it, they put it down, and they had the free kick? No, he kicked the ball too far. They had to go and get it and bring it over. The whole thing would have helped Arsenal with their time wasted anyway. The whole thing with California, no, that was early in the game after City took the lead. The whole thing with the first goal, the whole reason that took so long was because Bernardo Silva ran off with the ball and put the ball somewhere else.
Big one.
Bernardo Silva, he's always doing that. You can't trust him.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, Doku had no right to kick the ball at all. So, but bottom line is, you're able to put intent.
Oh, great. He's frozen.
I like how it's frozen on him, like looking like he's about to bite someone.
Same intent.
Count Lolo.
To Trossard.
It's still going.
Yes, I am.
You froze.
You froze.
The internet doesn't like me talking this intently.
It's the PGMOL.
I think one of the ways that how you could improve better refereeing decisions is you get rid of that show for a start, right? That's just a bait and switch. It's supposed to make us feel better, but it's really, as you say, it's just to justify their decisions. After every single match, a microphone is put into the face of the manager and players after every match. And they ask managers about decisions. Why can't we have the referees also, after a match, they're interviewed, and the interviewer asks them, why did you make that decision? Let us know what was on your mind. Why aren't they allowed to do that? And I think that if that was the case and they were put under the spotlight, they'd probably make better decisions because they know that they're going to have to answer for them. Rather than just shuffle off, they go away, and that's the end of it. We don't hear from them until that show comes out. Do you know what I mean? They back each other up.
I agree with you. I sort of agree with what you're saying, but the thing is, all those interviews, they're all a little bit fixed. You don't get a true read. You remember the time you had Roy Hodgson and the interviewer actually poked the bear a little bit.
You're taking the piss.
And Roy Hodgson really gave. And the thing is, when you've got managers and interviewers and things like that, they upset once, you're not going to get another interview, or you're going to get a very closed interview, or you're going to ask this question, you're going to ask that question, and if you go off the script, I'm walking away.
Ferguson,
and that's what happened
to the BBC, didn't he, for ages? Didn't he?
That's what happens. It's what happens. So, to be honest, a lot of those interviews, they're candy floss, aren't they? Really, I mean, they're a little bit sugary sweet after the game.
They go right in.
I sort of feel sorry for him a bit, He's there. You go.
He took the job. He took that job.
True.
He took that job. Fuck him. He could have said no.
He's in it above his head, man.
Yeah, but he's getting money out of them, so it's not all bad.
I would like them to do that. Like, to ask them, why did you make that decision? Listen to what they've got to say, and then they could even say something like, people are saying that the team done a similar on the opposition done something earlier by kicking the ball away. What do you say about that? Ask them the questions, let them answer.
Yeah, but I suppose the trouble is then it's getting.
Let them tell us.
It'd be interesting.
They'd make better decisions, though, wouldn't they? If they knew that was going to happen. And we keep saying they try and make it about them. They're trying to get in the spotlight. Well, let's give them a real big shining spotlight at the end of every game, and they can take it as long as they want in it.
I don't think Oliver's a bad referee. Generally, I think he's one of the better referees. I'll be honest. That's my personal opinion.
David, to be fair with that, to echo that statement, I was sitting in the Etihad, and I said out loud, there I am with Anisha. Yeah. And that was during the game. That was during the game, guys.
Before kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah. That was like midway through the first half. You can't see the Arsenal stand because it's on the other side, but yeah,
you'd be more likely to get away with saying that was in second half at Man City's end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But David, I actually said out loud, I gotta say he's handling this match well because it was a heated match to begin with, and when it all happened, like the Doku kick, I said I was glad. Even though people were screaming for a yellow, I was glad he didn't do that because he's reffing this knowing that it's a big match, knowing that he needs to have control of this match. And I actually thought he was doing a very good job. And to be fair, the whole rest of the match as well, I still think he did a good job. I just think he had, when it comes to I had no choice but to send him off, you actually had a huge out there and you didn't take it.
He was doing a good job until someone in his earpiece said to him, "Remember who pays your wages."
Yeah, like we're going to halftime.
Remember where you get to go in the summer if you play ball.
Yeah, remember who got you that Remember who got you that Rolex.
Yeah, so that begs the question, guys. I mean, we've been bouncing around this topic. We've been bouncing around this topic, and Stan was bringing up some of this because the big question is, with all of these, every single year, we're talking about horrible decisions that are made, horrible calls, missed calls, weird calls, and a lot of people want to quickly say, "Oh, it's corruption. He's biased. He's to, he's a Man City fan. He's from Manchester. Blah blah blah." And I just want to ask you guys. Is it more likely that a ref is biased, or is it more likely that the refs are just bad? Or are we completely wrong?
general incompetence, but it's important to take note that generally being a referee is a thankless task. Because if you have a good game as a ref, no one's going to tell you had a good game. The best you can hope for is just not being criticised.
Yeah, there's few and far between refs who have a superb rep, such as Kalina or someone like that.
Even with Kalina, it's all myth. Basically, he's widely regarded as the best referee of all time because we've probably, in England, generally, we've only seen him referee about 4 football matches.
Yeah.
Because he's never refed here.
No,
but it's like, he's fantastic.
It's quite true. That's quite
Why
true.
can't more referees be like him? So I bet you would be saying that if you saw him every fucking week.
I think a lot of that was also down to the fact that when he refereed in big games, when you had big star players starting to gob off at him, he looked at them like he would rip their head off and spit down their throat. So they all shut up. They were intimidated by him. Quite frankly, they were like, "Oh, I'm going to shut up now." And so he had an aura about him as a referee. But I don't know. I think it's a difficult job. They make mistakes. We all make mistakes. To be honest, I'll tell you something. If players made as few mistakes as referees often do, there'd be better players a lot of the time. And I'm not saying that for all players, but a lot of players. So, but
David,
I don't
can
know.
I ask you?
I don't know.
It's hard to understand with your accent. Did you say odor or aura?
Aura.
Oh,
not odor. No, not odor. No, I've never got that close to him. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be decided over how many 38 games. Who wins that title?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what I want to know from you lot. After that game, how do you think you're going to fare? You know, it was still early on in the season. How are you going to get on? You know, there's some other good teams up there.
The question that you asked, Lolo, about the refs, are they, corrupt, or are they really just that bad? And for me personally, I thought Kalina was excellent in the Hills of Ice. Like, nailed it. But regarding the refs, I'll use Michael Oliver as an example. And David said that he's seen him. He sees that he's a good ref at a good standard. But then we're talking about the ref that, again, we used the Kovacic example. He made a decision. He used common sense. He didn't apply the letter in the law in that situation because he felt in that moment, claiming, according to him, that the game was big and it deserved to flow, and tried to keep everybody on the pitch. Yet he, for whatever reason, he decides not to apply that in the game equally as big between the first and second place, and is very quick, to go to his cards. And so, why the change of heart? And this is a man that has refereed 47 times now for Man City, and he's never shown a red in 47 games that he's ref for Man City. So, if this is a good referee, like you say, David, why is he making? Do you know what I mean? There's such a parallel in his decision making. 1 minute's the letter of the law, and I've got no chance. I had to do it. In a previous match, he's letting players get away with reds because he wants to keep the game.
Listen, I can't defend why he didn't send off Kovacic for those fouls before, because he should have walked. He should have walked.
But you couldn't believe his.
So then he's either, as Lolo said, he's either a bad referee, he's not very good, or there's something else going on. He's making decisions. Shall I put it like that, right? So it's one or the other for me. He's either really bad and not consistent, which is a concern at this level,
but the thing is,
something else.
I'm not just looking at the two games between your two sides. I'm looking at him as a referee overall, and that's why I say generally he is a good referee. You don't get to that standard in the game of refereeing by being a poor referee.
Maybe be more selective in the games that he does ref. Maybe there are certain games that he shouldn't ref, And then no one can go to that. No one can go, oh well, he's from Manchester. Oh, he's got concerns with Man City. If he's not refereeing those games, that conversation can't take place.
Maybe it would be better if the big games didn't always go to the same old referees.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
how are other referees going to improve their game if they're not refereeing those top games sometimes? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Very good point.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt, does it?
No, you've made me curious, David. Who's refereeing our game tomorrow? Because if we've been punished by being given Michael Oliver, I'm going to be fucking furious.
He's all right. It is what it is. Who is it?
Yeah. Well,
at the end of the day, I'll be honest. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who the referee is. You're the team. You've got the players on the pitch. They've got to put the ball in the net. If they don't put enough balls in the net, then it's down to them. You know, you've got 90 minutes, 98 minutes, whatever. You know, so we can blame referees as much as we want. But
just to piggyback on what you were saying,
at the end of the day, you know, it's down to the teams.
Just to piggyback on what you were saying there, Dave, that point you made about, you know, how a ref's supposed to get any better. If you look at what's happening now, I mean, I hear that they're trialing and they want to bring in a offside tool, you know, some sort of Hawkeye kind of technology. It's like, how much more is going to be taken away from the referee? It seems to me that they seem to be losing more and more responsibility and accountability in the game, because you've got people in their ears now at Stockton Park. You've got, you know, all of these technologies are coming in on the pitch. I mean, the refs seem to me are becoming, do you know what I mean? They're sort of like, their decision making is being overshadowed by all of these other people and tools.
But what I think what you're talking about, I think what you're referring to there is the semi-automatic offside.
Yeah, what is it?
That's what they have throughout Europe and what they've had in the Euros and the World Cup, I think, as well. And
how does it work?
What
is it?
It works better. It works better because you're taking out the human element. You're not got these guys in Stockley Park drawing lines. I see. It's all you take out that human element of people drawing lines.
On the telly, it comes up a big blue sheet, and basically you're either in front of the line of the sheet or you're not.
Yeah.
And it just comes up, boom, within 4 seconds, offside or not offside. And generally, you can usually tell from the image itself. You don't actually need it to be declared. And like as David said, it's been in all the major tournaments. I think the Champions League uses it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they use it everywhere. Why do they not use it in the Football League that creates the most wealth and the most money and the richest league in the world? Why don't they use it?
Because they're still trying to see if it works. They're still trying to see if it works.
Is it because they want a little bit of protectionism, the referees here? You know, there's no reason why they don't have it. Yep. When is it coming in? Is it next season?
I thought it was halfway through this season or halfway. I thought it was.
They won't bring it They won't bring it in halfway through the season.
They've done it before. I think that's what the people are arguing about. There were people complaining about. Well, they're going to bring it in mid-season.
I'm sure I see an article on the Athletic about it. So just give me a minute. I'll check. Because I don't know if I imagined it, but I'm sure they're delaying the usage of it. But I could be wrong.
Why?
Let me delp if I spelled semi correctly.
We actually get to see.
You can go on to other things as well, can't you? You can go on to other things about that. Is like the questions in the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, is that they don't use VAR until they get to the semi-final, and then they use it. What's all that about? And the same in the FA Cup. They don't use it at certain grounds, but then they use it at grounds where they do have it. Well, that's bullshit. You either use it or you don't use it.
Yeah, but is it maybe some of the teams that play in those competitions can't afford to have the technology put in or something like that? You know,
no, they can't.
They don't have it in there.
They can't.
That's 100% why. Because they can't.
They can't. They can't afford it. A few years ago, they said it. a few years ago, they said it costs each club something like £10,000 or £12,000 a game for them to.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not cheap. It don't come cheap. That's why it's the Premiership, the Premier. And they were talking about it coming into the Championship. I'll tell you one thing. Even though some of the decisions haven't gone Leeds' way, and quite a few didn't go Leeds' way last year, I loved it without VAR. So much better. Just the referee makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. That's it. You get on with it.
Move on.
Yeah, if he's wrong within 10 seconds, and then you still have. There's no excuse. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can sit there till you blue in your face going it's wrong, but you can still turn around and go, well, why didn't Leeds score in the remaining 12 minutes of the game, rather than sitting there going, because it took him 5 minutes to look at a computer screen or camera screen, sorry, not computer screen. Then you knock 5 minutes off the clock. It's like, but you can't have that excuse because he was wrong then. And you could, in that 5 minutes, we could have been up and down the pitch 20 times. I mean, we're not because we're slow as molasses with passing, but that's not the point. I mean, ultimately, basically, you're right. It's wrong. It's really quick, and it's basically like proper football, like it should be.
Yeah, I have to say, I watched some championship. I watched. Yeah. I watched some championship matches with you guys, and it was a lot of fun. It was like, oh my god, that was a foul. What are they doing? No, they're just moving on. Okay, the game's already playing.
Get on.
They've delayed. Sorry, I found the article. It's been delayed to 2025. The semi-automated offsides.
Okay. Yeah, next season.
Next season, yeah.
So tell me, what's it like celebrating goals in real time? Because I can't remember what that's like anymore.
Exactly. It's exactly.
You know what I mean?
Quite a nice feeling. You sit there and, I'll tell you what to do, and I'll describe it as in I do it, and I imagine the player who scored does it. You do your quick look over to the linesman, the flag is down, goal. It's a goal. Because you know the linesman has made that decision.
Yeah.
Unlike in the Premier League, where whether he's got his flag up and down or not, he knows it's going to that camera screen regardless.
Yeah.
So
he's got there's a safety net.
Offside actually means fuck all.
Yeah. It's one of the worst things that has happened to the excitement and the elation of goal scoring. It's a damp squib. It kills the game. It kills the fans' enthusiasm and exuberance of wow, we've got a goal. No, we'll better wait 3 minutes.
What is it? Yeah,
that's what happens with VAR. It's shocking. It's shocking.
Yeah. The one that offended me more than anything, and that sounds really silly, is when Luke Ayling scored his first Premier League goal, and it was a fucking beauty. And basically, because Tyler Roberts, remember him? Of course you don't. He's Tyler Roberts. Because he strayed offside in the build-up. He wasn't even involved in the cross for the goal. Because he was offside in the build-up, Luke Ayling's goal was disallowed. And again, that happens to a million players. But Luke Ayling's first Premier League goal, he's a right back. And basically, he did his whole shebang celebration. He does the really, ironically, his actual first Premier League goal that counted was really good at Old Trafford. Banged it into the top corner, and then 20 seconds later, we were 4-1, 5-1 down. So, life comes at you fast, clearly. But that was for 1-1.
Yeah. I had a chat with Arsene Wenger, when I met him, about his proposal.
Was that?
I just dropped that in. About his offside proposal, which was the rear foot of the attacker. So you still got the lines would be drawn. You'd have to have that. But I just don't understand why that was never brought in, because it gives the advantage to the attacking side all the time. And it's on the rear foot of the attacker. So it's on the heel of the attacker. If any part of that is in line with the defender, you're still onside. I mean, that is at UEFA.
We're now the opposite. We're the opposite of that. If any of you is offside, it's
Just and the trouble, the fact that they cut where on the arm. And then you've got people at Stockley Park drawing lines. Oh, behave, you know?
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Well, guys, you see the clock just popped up in the corner. That must mean that we are very near halftime, or actually 5 minutes past. So we could all get a red card if we throw the ball away now. But listen, guys, we're gonna take a quick break because we are old men and we've been drinking a lot. So we're gonna send you. I've got a great video for you guys for the halftime.
Hang on a minute, Lolo.
Oh,
We've sat here like lemons with thumbs up our asses since midnight in the UK. And yeah, this has been fantastic discussion about Arsenal, and I appreciate that you had.
Ball placement.
But you sat there talking. Yeah. What? Don't forget to come back for the Stoop for the second half, of course. Blah 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 blah. Nonsense stuff. Lolo, just play the video of the poem when we actually beat Man City with 10 men. That glorious Saturday afternoon. It was my Speaking of great Saturday afternoons for segues, do you just happen to have the poem?
All right, fine. I guess Director John, Mr. Tom believes that beating Man City with 10 men ain't for everybody, and I guess it's not. So, guys, we'll be back in 4 or 5 minutes. So go get new beers, go to the restroom and all that. We'll be back with Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom and our Week 6 predictions. Let's hit it. What's going on, football fans? It's your boy Lolo. I want to kick a big shout out to my Stoop crew, most of which is Leeds United fans. And I just want to say, you guys really impressed me over the weekend with your win over Man City. So much so that I decided to immortalize that victory into a poem. So I'm going to say it for y'all right now. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, share it. If you don't, share it anyway. It was a warm day in April, around 8 in the morning. All Leeds was anxious since their maroon kits were worn. They traveled not far, only an hour by train, to the home of the champs they hoped to contain. Manchester City was an unstoppable force, but the lads from Yorkshire had no fear, of course. Pundits all claimed there's no way in hell that these upstart boys would ever do well against Pep and his squad of world-class players. That championship team better start saying their prayers. Well, the match started well, both teams wanting to win it, when Paddy slotted in Dallas at the 42nd minute. A goal, an unbelievable sight. Leeds beating City? Nah, something didn't feel right. So 4 minutes later, Captain Coops clears the ball, but down goes Jesus. Now VAR gets the call. Go check the screen, go check the screen. This is the most dangerous tackle ever seen. Studs up hit the knee of the Man City man, so the card became red for the Leeds Capitan. Down to 10 men with mere minutes left in the half, Bielsa subs Bam Bam for some help in the back. The next 45 would be hell to defend, with shot after shot. Would the barrage ever end? Frustration from Pep and fear in his eyes, till the 72nd minute when they equalized. 1-1, all level. Still a fine result, but to Bielsa's 10 men, it was a nasty insult. We're better, we're Leeds, we fight till the end. You may be the kings, but our knees will not bend. We've come into your home, your Etihad Palace, but you bastards forgot that we've got Stuart Dallas. 90 minutes plus 1, City happy to draw, then Gianni picked a pass that left us in awe. No way, Stuart's flying at pace. There's not a chance that he wins this race. He's being closed down by Fernandinho and Stones, but the young man from Cookstown has ice in his bones. He nutmegs the keeper. The ball's on this lad. 10 men against the champs, gotta say, not too bad. The whistle was blown, the 3 points were taken, and every Leeds fan was screaming and shaking. Bielsa was humble, gave all the credit to the guys, even though his budget is 2% of Pep's size. It was Paddy and Raph, Helder and Ty. Coops was tweeting from the lockers, one hell of a guy. It was Johnny, Pascal, Diego, and Luke. Melly has been brilliant, for sure, not a fluke. With Shax and Cork flying in for relief, and of course Calvin Phillips, the commander-in-chief. The man of the match was Dallas for sure, and the pride was for Leeds, from here to Yorkshire. So if you claim the badge and you only bleed white, march on together, and from the Stoop, good night. Thank y'all for listening to that. I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget, you can become a part of the Stoop crew for just a little bit of money every month to show us that you love what we're doing. Peace from Brooklyn, y'all.
That really
Yo.
upset me, Lolo. I regret asking for it because you just within the space of about 2 minutes, you reminded me that we had a lot better team back then than we do now.
Man, listing off those players, man, just made me sad too. Not even a Leeds fan, but I'm just like, God, what? Imagine if Stuart Dallas just stayed healthy.
You
didn't
praise my
break his
goalkeeper, and
leg.
I'm sat there like, I don't know where the fuck that guy is because he fucking ain't Ellen Road right now. Sorry,
Can I give you props as well? Can I give you props for not saying Yorkshire? I thought I was going to say Yorkshire, innit? From America. And
nah, it didn't rhyme. It didn't rhyme.
You said it bang on, man. You said it proper. I was like, yeah, I like that. Birmingham.
Birmingham for Yorkshire. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely missed out on Mr. Tom's bets last week. I was unable to bet, but I'm excited this week.
It's all right, you wouldn't have won.
You guys ready to do some betting in the dark with Mr. Tom?
Yes,
Let's
bring
do
it.
Let's do it.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, Lo, place your bets.
Roll up. Hello. And welcome.
I like Lolo's Tom. I like Lolo's awkward stare when I delayed the video a little bit.
I heard him back go, where is he?
Yeah, where is he? And just remember, everybody, we ask Mr. Tom to to give us the craziest bets that he can find, bets that'll turn £1 or $1 into hundreds, which means they are not good bets. So don't waste your money. But if you do and you happen to win, send it on over. Let us know how you did.
The conversion rate.
All right, Tom. Up. The conversion rate. All right. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, Tom, take it away.
Well, I was really pleased with myself earlier when Lolo told me that he had predicted Arsenal to win this game by 3-1 because I did this last night. So I knew what was coming. And that's what she said. Anyway, so Lolo, I've got a theory here. There's 6 teams that have not won in the Premier League this season. It probably won't be 6 at the end of the weekend, but I know because 2 of them are playing against each other. But are you gonna let Leicester win? Leicester got a chance to win.
This is a horrible bet.
Won't be that horrible if it wins though.
It would be even worse if it actually hit.
If it actually won, the fucking meltdown. The meltdown in your fan base. And rightly so, because they are a fucking awful football team at Premier League.
Mushroom cloud.
I mean, obviously, if this was to actually happen, Jamie Vardy would score in the game because Jamie Vardy only has to get out of bed and he's got a goal against Arsenal, from what I remember. He loves planting them in. And to be fair, he does that against my team. He scored a lot of goals against a lot of teams. They are not a good team. But he is quite good.
Yeah.
He knows where the goal is. And if you're going to score, it's probably going to be Kai Havertz. I mean, I'm not that confident to say any of them are going to score first because you can only make that amount of money without adding that level of increased risk.
Well, Stan, just to let you know, when he asked for predictions for this, I said Arsenal to win 3-1, Raheem Sterling to score, and Jamie Vardy to score last.
Yeah.
That was mine. And it's making like 300. Yeah.
That's all. The scores I get, but I don't like that.
Admittedly, I didn't write this thinking Stan and Lolo are going to look at this and go, you know what, Tom? This is the best fucking work you've put into this segment I've ever seen. Like, I'm so fucking thrilled that you picked Leicester City to beat the Arsenal. You're the best, Tom. I mean, I am the best, but not specifically for that reason. But I was just secretly pleased that you picked the opposite of what I predicted. But I knew I'd already predicted it. But you didn't know I'd already predicted it. But you still did the opposite. I just thought it's fantastic. And plus, when Gary sees this, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a little goal of Tom, and he's going to stick some more pins in it.
I just think there's only been one team to score more than one goal against Arsenal, and it was Man City at the death. You think Leicester fucking City are going to score 3 goals against us?
I think wild shit happens to Arsenal when they get a bit complacent. And
you think we're complacent right now?
No.
You think we're complacent right now?
No. It's not what I said. I said when you get complacent, when you just assume you're going to win, wild shit can happen.
Yeah.
And then you sit there, on the Monday night on Gary's show. Maybe not you specifically, but someone sit there and go, I don't know how this happened. I don't know what happened. Like, I've lived it. I've seen this happen. Like, I'll just go on that. Oh, I ain't been on that show for a while, but I'm just like, guys, it's football. Weird shit happens. Things happen you don't expect to happen all the time.
Hey, speaking of Gary's show, Lolo, do you ever get invited on there?
Not once.
Exactly.
That's not true. Once. That's not true. I remember the time you did go on there, and I basically was asking you questions, but you was only allowed to answer as Sean Connery in Highlander.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do remember that one. So I was not invited. Sean Connery was invited.
Yeah, that's true.
And they couldn't find Sean Connery, so they got a cheap alternative. Yeah, okay.
I'm not Spanish.
A gig's a gig.
Yeah, a gig's a gig.
I remember it specifically because it was the night after Will Smith decided that he wanted to have a conversation with Chris Rock, and he had a question for him. He basically asked him, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. I don't know why. It's always tickled me. But
well.
Yeah, it's a shame Gary's not here to see this bet. You're absolutely right, Scooby.
I can tell you what he'd say. He'd go, Mr. Tom, I don't like this. Tom.
All right, I'm ready for the next one. I don't know about you, Stan. I'm ready to see the next.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. So obviously,
God. What happened to you this week, Tom?
No. I'm telling you, I'm a master of my craft, and I was told to create things that pay money, and this will pay some serious fucking wonga if you get it. I mean, you're gonna need a miracle to get it.
We'll do an accumulator all of these as well then.
I'm glad you suggested that, David. That I'll look into doing that next week. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I'm like, if they're going to score a goal, it's going to be Cunha. I don't know if I've pronounced that right.
Yeah.
I don't watch him play football, but I know he's a good footballer for them. And oh yeah, the Beatles are there too. But yeah, in all seriousness, I mean, Jota's going to score for him because he scored. I think he scored for him in midweek. But
he did.
No, I think this could be interesting.
But he didn't play last week. He didn't even play last week. Luis Diaz has been their goal scorer this season, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's playing well.
He won't be tomorrow though. Actually, I think this game's Sunday. No, actually, it's tomorrow at 5:30 in UK time. Excuse me, got that wrong. If you don't mind, Director John, would you please go on to the final one, which I'm most confident about?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because of my theory that Ipswich are going to run the table and win every remaining game because they're God's football team, they're gonna win this game 3-2. obviously Villa are going to score first, and Ipswich will overturn it because, again, they are supported by God, the football god.
So you mean 5 goals in the final 30 minutes because Duran does not start over Ollie Watkins. So it's going to be 0-0 into the 70th, and then he's going to come on and score, and then 4 more goals are going to go in, including Sammy Schmudix.
Despite the mocking I'm currently receiving, I do believe I sat on this show about 2-3 weeks ago, and I sat here, and the words that left my lips were, Everton are going to be 2-0 up in this game against Villa and lose the game. I literally said this.
You did.
I think
you did say that.
I think if I was going to put a pound on any of the 3 that you've shown, I would probably give the pound to a homeless man. No, I would actually probably put it on this one. I think out of the 3, this one I think is doable.
I'm telling you, I only need one of them to win, and I'll get to be smug as fuck.
Especially if it's the Arsenal one. Oh my God!
Oh, Jesus.
If it's the Arsenal one, it played out exactly like that. I'd be like, Lolo, Saturday night Stoop.
Ipswich are having a go, aren't they, this season? They're like, you know, they look like they're playing some nice football, having a go. This is what I think. And that Duran guy keeps coming off the bench and scoring, doesn't he? I mean, he scored quite a lot of goals so far, this kid. They never start him. Maybe he's going to get a start.
I do think eventually
he scores first.
I think eventually he's going to play his way into this lineup if he keeps like cracking out these 30-yard bangers.
He's on fire, isn't he? He's on fire.
Especially when you consider like people are complaining that no one's taking any long shots anymore in the Premier League because everyone's trying to walk it into the net, and then you got this motherfucker that's like putting the ball in the top corner like it's going out of fashion tomorrow. Like, get that man on the pitch. I mean, I have no love for him, but like he's doing some exciting things on the ball.
Even Morsey at Ipswich last week. What did he do? He takes a shot from outside the box. What happened? It got a deflection. How many times did that happen when he was in the Championship? Deep into extra time. Every time. Things don't change. If you take a shot, you get a deflection, you've got a good chance of scoring.
You can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket. And Ipswich bought a fucking lot of lottery tickets in the last year or 2.
Yeah. They've bought a team that if they get relegated, they should walk the Championship, quite frankly.
If they don't sell every one of their players that are clearly there because Ipswich are in the...
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of those players... They're not of the ilk. I don't think they, that would necessarily find other clubs.
The three teams that end up getting promoted will take them between them, probably. Like has happened here.
Yeah, but I don't know that they would. I don't know that. They're still Championship players, unlike where they've got other teams brought in. Not so good Premier players. You know what I mean? Smodix. Is Smodix going to jump shit? I don't know. Would Ipswich say, no, you're here, you're here, this is what the score is? But they might not get relegated this year. As Stan said, they're the team that are going for it this year.
To be fair, they're going for it, but they've still not won a game.
No, that's true.
Yeah, we've seen that before, innit? Where teams come up, they play some nice football and that, but they're too maybe expansive and they don't win the games.
Yeah.
Seen that before.
Which team was that, Stan? Which team was that?
Just ones you've not. I can't name one in particular, but you see teams like
Norwich would try it.
Yeah,
that's a good example.
I know Norwich. Actually,
Leeds were a good example. They played open.
Yeah, that was the example.
And I know where you were going with that, Lolo. I know where you were going with that.
Thank you very much.
Trying to set me up.
Talk about my team.
I mean.
Also, as well, can I just say, why do you never see many Premier League teams looking into the Championship when they are looking to buy. You never really see a lot of that going on, do you? A lot of plucking from the Championship.
They bought Leeds players this
this
season,
season,
didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. The Championship player of the season is now a West Ham player.
Who was that?
Yeah. Somerville.
Who was that?
Somerville.
Who?
Is that
is it West Ham now?
Somerville.
Yeah.
He's at West Ham now.
I remember seeing
Archie Gray at Aston Villa,
and he stood out. He really did stand out. I've seen him stand out before.
Archie Gray is at Spurs, playing really well. And who's the other one? Reuter is at.
I'm pretty sure there's an ex-Leeds player in every team in the Premier League, if I actually thought about it, which I'm not going to, but it's probably true. Even Arsenal have one.
No, he was on loan. He was on loan.
But he still played. He was still at Leeds for a season.
He's still
probably his best season as well. To be honest,
he lifted more
as a center back.
Arsenal so far. Actually, no, you won the Charity Shield twice, then. So ignore that. That's wrong.
God damn it.
But still, I mean, I still think there probably is an ex-Leeds player in every Premier League team. This is the worst Premier League season. I think that's what's going to be. I think you know how we always used to say the magic line for the relegation sides with 40 points. You've got to be above 40. I think this year it's going to be 30. I'd be shocked if it's not 30 points. Like 31 points, you'll probably survive on this year.
I think it's a bit early to be saying it because I can't see Everton.
Six of them have not won.
Didn't Ipswich beat Liverpool?
Sorry?
I thought Ipswich beat Liverpool in a game.
Nah, they lost 2-1.
Nottingham Forest did.
2-0.
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
It was Forest. Forest beat Liverpool.
All
right, let's look at the Magic 3.
David asked for this, and by magic, it just appeared. How did that happen? How did that happen?
Oh, okay.
There you go. If they all win, sorry. What am I talking about? If leaving it up to chance when they all win.
When
they all win. 449-1. That's big money.
Yeah.
Well, that one might be worth $1.
It really is worth a quid. But as Stan said, there's probably a homeless person in your town.
I wonder, is it what's is a Super Yankee a combination of 3 or 5? Or is that a round robin 3?
No, 3 of them is a patent or round robin.
Round robin, okay. So that would be interesting as well because it's 1 and 2, 2 and 3, isn't it? Because they're quite good bets for that.
Even if you got 2 of them to double up, you'd make serious money. As it is.
Be a good round robin.
Not that. I'm not really gonna get into all the thing of what people should do with this and all that. I mean,
they shouldn't do anything with it.
The real correct answer is just to ignore everything said in the last 7 minutes. But BX, I don't believe it. But Ipswich scored against Liverpool. I believe they scored first against Manchester City.
Against City, they scored too early. Too early there.
I think at the top of the table, I think the Premier this year is going to be quite interesting, especially with Rodri now injured. That opens the door a little bit.
That's what I find fascinating. Man City for a long time, probably rightly, have been considered they're the standard bearer. Don't get me wrong. Pep versus Klopp is a rivalry. No. This rivalry will span generations. It's like Liverpool beat him once to a title. People are talking like it was like you're looking at Wenger and Ferguson. It's at least Wenger beat Ferguson 3 times to a title. Yeah. Rightly or wrongly. People are Klopp and Pep head to head. It's not much of a head to head. It was 5-1 in terms of titles. I could be wrong there, but that's how it feels like. It's Liverpool fans are basically over egging how close they actually ran them.
Stan, I was having I had some weird, troubling thoughts after the result on Sunday, and Very proud of my club. But, you know, we are facing this juggernaut beast of a team. And I just thought, what if we win Invincible this year? But so did City. And we didn't win the league. Invincible.
Nah.
I mean, that's a wild thought, isn't it? It could happen.
It could happen. You know, why couldn't it happen? We already got there's only 2 matches that could keep that from happening.
I mean, they say worse things have happened at sea. It's possible, but I mean, I find it even difficult to see a team going invincible again for some time. I think it's going to be a very difficult feat now for a team to do, right? I mean, we had 7 draws in our invincible, I think. 7 draws? 7
we had
draws,
a lot.
I think.
We had a lot.
We don't see a team doing
we weren't first place the entire. It wasn't like we were first place the entire season either. Man
Especially
United
now with this
was
new
ahead
Champions League format as well. It's going to kind of teams are really going to have to use their whole squad, and it is a squad game now, right?
12
draws. It's a squad game. You know, it's not just about first 11 anymore. It is about having a squad, right? You know, all right, Chelsea have got like 400 squads. That's a different story, but it's going to be, you know, you're going to have to use people. You can't just use an 11. And look at Man City, for example. They've got Rodri out now and Kevin De Bruyne, and they haven't got Alvarez to fall back on like they did before. You know, they look like a team that's has got less. And in the background, they've got a lot going on, and they've got the court thing going on, and there's a lot of noise going on around about that as well.
I don't think that makes any. I don't think that makes a distraction to the players. They get paid. They go out to do the job.
Do you think if any players, maybe for example, have got a contract coming up, do you think it makes them think twice? I think, well, I've won everything here. Maybe I should just leave now, right? Before any of this shit comes down, I can go other places. I mean, I've done it all here. Do you know what I mean? And
I think that's what Gundogan did.
Maybe
that's what Gundogan did.
Thinking, you know, and if the manager's going to leave. If the manager's going to leave, should I hang around? You know what I mean? If Pep's going to leave, maybe I'll go as well.
I mean, the best outcome, the best outcome in Tom Fantasy land for this kind of thing is obviously if Haaland gets. I mean, Haaland, if of course, like say Man City get put in National League. Not going to happen. Let's just say hypothetically. Yeah. And then he turns around and goes, oh, well, I've made loads of money. I've made 800 grand a week off of this club. Why don't I just go and play for Leeds for £40 a week for my hometown club or whatever? It'd be beautiful. I'd be like Erling. I don't care if you're a violent, psychotic thug that throws footballs at people when they're not looking. I don't give a fuck. In fact, come and do that for us. Because you can do whatever you want here. We're perceived as the dirtiest football team in football. So,
Could be right
if anything, do it twice a game. Yeah, like do it at the end of the first half, do it at the end of the second half, even if whatever the score is, be beautiful. But yeah, the thing I was going to say earlier before I started going on about some other nonsense was basically.
In fact, Erling, don't even score goals. Just run around throwing the ball at the opposition. Just do that.
I mean, I'd love him to run up to like Sean Dyche or whoever and just go, mate, you're a clown.
And then run off.
Yeah.
Did you see that when he threw the ball at Gabriel? He was on his toes, man, wasn't he? He was like, off, like little rascal.
That was the best thing about it, I have to say, is that he went in there. And the fact that Gabriel had his shirt over his head and he threw the ball and he was gone. By the time he was like, oh, I've been hit on the head, it was like a delayed reaction. By the time he pulled his shirt off, it was like... And the fact that there's been such an outrage over it, I mean, oh, come on. It's just a bit of shithousery. It's nothing nasty, you know. It's not that bad a thing. It's not psychotic as Tom says. What do you mean you don't know? Come on.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of it, the funniness.
Just a ball that hit him on the back of the head.
He didn't know it was coming, right? So that, you know what I mean? He weren't like he was ready for it. Violent conduct.
Of course he didn't know it was coming. He had a bloody shirt over his head.
Yeah, but we live in the time of concussion breaks and all that, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going down that road.
Yeah, but
I'm going down that road with my combine harvester.
Yeah, no, but to be fair, Stan, you know exactly what I'm going to say here. To be fair, you see the documentary. All Haaland has to do is just sit there and go, "I'm not a CTE guy. I don't believe in concussions." All it really means is you were getting your head in the front of the ball the wrong way. Like you weren't selling properly, mate, kind of thing. But in all seriousness, I just find
what
it
if there was a
fascinating.
situation, if he'd thrown the ball, say he'd thrown the ball at the back of his head, and in a heated rage, Gabriel just turned around and lumped him. Just out of, you know what I mean?
I'd laugh at that too.
Yeah, of course, but do you know what I'm getting at? They've got a different conversation, right? So, you know, someone could be tense, you know what it's like, heat of the moment, the game's going, someone throws the ball at your back of your head, and before you know what you've done, you don't even realise you've done it, you've just maybe head-butted or lumped or whatever, reacted in some way. Nah, you know what I mean? And I do think as well, I know Dave was pissing himself, right? But if it was the other way around, let's say Gabriel, right, when he headed the ball in, he picks up the ball, ran past Haaland and threw at him, there'd still be the same conversation. There'd still be the same conversation, right?
I mean, Haaland.
Whereas I would be going, there was nothing in it. Like I'd be like Dave, I'd be like, yeah, there's nothing in it. It was.
I don't think. It's not because it's Arsenal. It's not because it's just.
I want blood.
You know what I think about?
Blood, David. I want blood.
I think about Ibrahimovic when he's got the ball there and the referee's there talking to him, and one of the opposing players is there as well. I think it's maybe the goalkeeper, and there's some sort of conversation going along, and another opponent comes walking to remonstrate, and Ibrahimovic just boom knocks the ball and it hits the guy straight in the face, and he's like, what's happened? I mean, it's just a little bit of shithousery, you know, nothing bad. What I didn't like was Righty coming out and going, cowardly, blah blah blah, and all that. Hey, wait a minute, I love Righty, but he used to go around pinching people from behind and all that and grabbing a bit of skin. So he you know, glass houses, throwing stones. Don't do it, Righty. You know, don't do it because he was great at it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on the shithousery. You know, throwing the ball at the back of his head. Okay,
but it wasn't hard. If it'd been vicious, different. But it was but
with the snow, literally, like there's no space between the ball and the hands, and just went
really threw it.
Okay, you're making a different point. But the fact that he just he fucking threw it.
When we've had a player sent off for kicking the ball less than a second after a whistle, that is enough to get sent off.
1.07 seconds, actually, but there you go.
0.87. We were fact checked during the show. 0.87. I said 0.7. It was 0.87 seconds. When the Premier League is that soft that you can get sent off for that. If you pick up the ball and chuck it at somebody's head when they're looking the other direction, do I want somebody sent off for that? No. But I would have liked the referee to go over and go, hey, don't fucking do that.
The referee didn't see it.
You absolutely want him sent off.
The referee.
No. I wanted him sent off for what he did after.
I want to put him in a rocket and shoot him to the sun.
Go there. Go on. I want to hear this.
I wanted him sent off for the very next play, which was on the kickoff. He just went and hammered, I think it was Partey. He just fucking leveled him. And it was like, wait, what the fuck was that? What the fuck just happened? That wasn't even he didn't get carded or anything for that. I'm like, okay, now that was dangerous. That was dangerous. Throwing the ball in the back of the head.
This is the thing. This is the thing they need to sort out in football, because it was the same with Martinez, I think, at kickoff. And what it is the opponent does a step to do a block. Where has that come from? This is American football tactics. Where is that? How has that crept into football? To stop a player trying to make a run to a ball maybe that's, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 yards away, and they just step across and block them. What is that shit? That's American football.
But
what is all that about? That's what happened. Partey took a step.
Not what happened.
Partey took a step and he got clobbered.
I'm sorry.
He got clobbered.
Partey fucked around and he found out.
He fucking found out, all right.
I never watched it. I'm like saying.
And the same thing happened to the same thing happened to the City defender. I can't remember who it was in the first half. He took a step to, I think, his left, and
Rodri and Havertz.
Yeah, and absolutely right. You know,
they ran together and collided. It was fine.
Ran into
Partey was standing there. Partey was standing there.
This is from kickoff.
Just comes and So
Partey took a step.
Rodri Havertz.
Partey moved to his left to obstruct a little bit. He got clobbered. He got clobbered. Fucking right as well.
Nowhere near the ball.
Absolutely.
Nowhere near the ball.
So why is he trying to block him?
That's what I'm saying.
Why is he trying to block him? Don't try and block somebody.
He's just fucking standing there.
No,
Holland literally runs straight at him.
I've done the same thing playing football. You don't do it if you get caught.
You've also told me that you're a dirty, cheating cunt when you play football. So I don't want to hear it.
So's Partey, and so are all the others. They're all professionals. That's what they do.
Okay. So let's not call that shit. You know? Then why are we calling little taps of the ball fucking red cards? Like, come on. You can't be snowflake one moment and then being like, oh, that was a proper challenge. And then claiming, like all the fucking Man City fans at halftime telling me, thinking I'm a City fan, that Gabriel should have been red carded for his foul against
You
Rodri.
yourself said Trossard deserved to be sent off.
By the letter of the law. So by the letter of the law.
Not by the letter of the law, by the letter of being a twat.
It at the back.
By the letter of being a twat. You hit somebody in the back, that's a foul in itself, and then you go and kick the ball away. Sorry, you've compounded the thing.
Holland did that to Saliba in the beginning of the game. Holland did that exact foul to Saliba in the beginning of the game. Wasn't a yellow card. Trossard did it, wasn't the yellow card. The yellow card was kicking the ball 0.8 seconds after the whistle.
So
if you're talking about by the letter of the law, by the letter
stop
of the
being
law,
a fucking snowflake about all that shit.
By the same official, by the letter of the
law.
I was just saying, if you're talking about by the letter of the law, Kovacic should have been sent off previously.
He should have been.
By the same official. By the letter. I'm getting it. That's why I'm confused.
Absolutely.
When are we playing the letter of the law? When is it? Do you know what I'm getting at? That's the thing. You're right.
And this is the problem. This is the problem with referees. This is the problem with referees. This is the problem with referees, but unfortunately, you need them.
And also, as well, at the end of the game, as I say, when a final whistle went, why did Haaland feel the need to go up to the opposing manager and start giving him verbals? You never see that.
What?
You might see a couple of players talking to each other, but he went up to...
Be humble, man.
Be humble. I mean, what is that all about?
It's ironic. It's ironic. He says be humble.
You walked into the Manchester City team who was already winning everything without you and probably would have won it without you as well. Don't fucking give me that be humble shit. You're a 20-something-year-old fucking robot. Get the fuck off here. And then he steps up to Jesus, who's this fucking tall. Like, come on. Are you out of your mind?
Well, I think Jesus actually spoke to him, didn't he? Jesus was like, why are you doing that?
And he shot him up.
Jesus walked up and was like, why are you say that, man? Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Meaning,
I'm not
you
saying
don't go up
Haaland
to the
was
manager.
But Jesus did start that.
And then he
said, do you not get it? Haaland is just, Haaland's doing this. He's throwing bait on the water, and he's having a bit of fun. It's a little bit of sport.
To be fair, Jesus, all Jesus said,
I wouldn't.
Jesus walked up and said,
especially when the substitute, the 17-year-old came up, giving it the large one, and he's like, "What the fuck are you? Who are you?"
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I get that.
You've not even.
I mean, half the Arsenal team are going, who the fuck are you anyway?
That conversation is going to happen. But if that was an Arsenal player who was going up to Pep and saying and acting that way, I wouldn't be like, yeah, go on. I'd be like, come on, mate. I'd be like a bit cringe about it. I'd be like, come on, man.
Don't say that shit.
It's embarrassing.
And also, you just drew.
I don't think it's anything to be
at
proud
home
about.
in the last second.
Like
you
that.
fucking be
funny,
humble.
but it's embarrassing.
You had 45 minutes with a man down, and you're the best striker in the world, and you did fuck all. You be humble.
Speaking of doing fuck all, do you know Arsenal, for the first time in a Premier League game ever, I believe, since they started recording statistics, Arsenal had 2 players. I think Kai Havertz was one, can't remember the other. That had 2 players that played the full 90 minutes and did not make one successful pass.
And then if you go back and you actually watch the match, you can see multiple passes that both of those players made that for some reason just weren't counted.
And here's another one that's going to end up being probably a tiebreaker. Here's another one that's going to be a tiebreaker in a pub quiz. Which player came off the bench and entered the game already on a yellow card?
Yeah, before ever playing a minute of football.
I've never seen that before. Booking a player on the bench and he comes on for his debut, that young kid Skelly, and he's already on the yellow card.
He's never played a minute of Premier League football, and he started with a yellow card. Now, to be fair, Stan,
good bit of refereeing. Good bit of refereeing. That was.
Did you see why he got the yellow card?
For something to do with Raya. He was supposed to be giving Raya instructions to time waste.
He walked over and talked to Raya, and they're like, "You can't do that, dude. Yellow card." And David, fair play, referee. Fair fucking play.
It was.
You can't do that.
I mean, the second
he went round the side. He induced some voodoo. That's what he did.
If everyone writes Skelly on that little bit of paper and you end up tied at the end of it, the tiebreaker question will actually be: so who actually got booked before making their Premier League debut, but then actually called a clown or whatever by the player that scored 10 goals already that season by game 5? Or game 6, whatever.
No, he said, "Who the fuck are you?" He said, "Who the fuck are you?"
He called Gabriel Jesus a clown.
Yeah.
He called Gabriel Jesus.
You know what? I like that about Skelly. I like the fact that he's going up. Yeah. It's like the fact that he's got these. Yeah, he's got that.
Cocky by Arteta, though, isn't it? It's very cocky by the manager to send the player on who's already on a yellow card. That's cocky. For me, that is cocky. Do you know what I mean?
Knowing that all he had to do was tap
for his debut.
All he had to do was tap a ball late, and he'd be sent off.
That's cocky.
Like,
I mean, I think
gotta say midweek
Oliver to send him off.
Midweek,
go on, Michael. Think of something to send him off for.
That would have been classic. That would have been brilliant.
And but midweek MLS, Lewis Skelly had one of the best pre-assist passes I've seen in forever. Beautiful pass for the goal midweek against Bolton. Yes, but that kid, we're gonna be all right. We got some hope there with the kids coming up.
I've never spoken so much about Arsenal in my life.
In one sitting.
I told you.
It'd be lovely to beat Coventry tomorrow, David.
We will beat Coventry tomorrow.
It would be really nice. Sorry, what we nearly one out. Sorry, nearly 109 minutes into the show. I'd really fucking love it if we beat Coventry City tomorrow.
There's no point in us talking about last week, the fact that we won 2-0 and half the
with
fans
a red card,
and half the fans want the manager sacked.
I find that fascinating. It was like you're watching it, and it's like, well, like even on Gary's show last Saturday, Gary's like, "Tom, why aren't you celebrating the fact you won?" And I'm sat there like, "What am I meant to say?" I mean, they had a player sent off. We had 80% possession, and we won 2-0. I'm going, "Thank you, Cardiff, for the 3 points. I'll see you all next week." What am I meant to say? I mean, I wasn't angry about it. I was relieved that we didn't fuck it up more than anything.
Can I tell you something? I watched the game through again a couple of days later, the whole lot. I enjoyed it far more the second time. And I think as Leeds supporters, we suffer from nerves watching these games that we're so shit scared that we're going to drop points, and because we know how important this season is, so we're not enjoying winning. That's the bottom line. We just want to get out of that shit league, basically.
It's not a very functional season. It's very much me personally, I'd happily just win the next 40 league games like 1-0.
Yeah.
In hindsight, if you know that's the case,
I have to say I'm of that mindset this year as well. I'm Fark's biggest critic, but this year I'm like, no, okay, just let him do what he's going to do and just get out of this shithole, which is the Championship, because the football is shocking. There's nothing to look forward to, and those and Leeds fans who say that they enjoy it in the Championship, oh no, behave, please. I
enjoy
shocking.
it. I enjoy it.
There's nothing to look forward
when
to.
We've already won a shit game, basically. Like for me, football's not something to be enjoyed right now. Football is something we sit, we endure the contest, we win the contest, and you move on. And I intend to do that for the next 40 matches or whatever. And I don't mean to sound entitled, but the fact of the matter is, we either get promoted or we basically never get promoted for another 10 years, essentially, because of the way the finances of football work.
I don't think it's going to happen. But it's just, I tell you what, when you get that fixture list come out, Lolo, and you're looking and it's a Championship fixture list. Oh God, it's so sad.
I couldn't tell you, like, for you, for example,
sad. It's
not
horrible.
only to speak for Lolo, but I'm pretty sure when that fixture list comes out, it goes, when do we play Tottenham? When do we play Man City? Is that fair to say?
Stan,
when the fixture list comes out, do you look for two specific games? When did we play Tottenham? When do we play Man City? That generally what happens as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
I don't do that for anyone in the Championship.
It used to be Man United, right? Back in the day, obviously, they were the fixtures you'd be looking for.
Yeah. In the Championship, it's just shit.
I tell you.
I
tell you what, guys.
Norwich and Southampton and Sunderland next. Sorry. Other than that, I don't know who we're playing after the international break. Don't give a fuck. We just need to fucking beat them.
And I found out that I probably, when I go to New Orleans, which is I think in 3 weeks' time.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to be able to watch the game. I've just had a look because the local time I'm going to be working. I'm going to be flying. So,
how long are you there for? Are you there for work? Are you? How long?
No, just 26 hours. That's it. Just layover. That's all.
Okay. Let me just clarify
for your mate Arsene, can't you?
Sorry.
One thing. When you say
score update for your mate Arsene.
Yeah, call Arsene Wenger.
What's the score?
When you say New Orleans like that,
it
sounds like Yorkshire to me. Yeah. Just letting you know. Just like
what do you want me to say? New Orleans. What do I say? What do I say?
Go on, Stan.
It's New Orleans.
David, when you met Arsene,
New Orleans.
Yeah, it's not Nolans. Like they write down sometimes, like BX just wrote, Nolans is New Orleans. New Orleans. You
listen,
say
New Orleans.
Can
I just say something? Can I just say something? Whose language do you speak? Exactly. We'll just leave it there. Okay.
We speak American.
No such thing. Yeah.
What language do the Australians?
We're very generous to let you call it American English.
English being the main. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Blah.
They speak English as well.
Blah. Baby.
I'm just saying.
I have an answer to David right now.
Yeah. Fucking man with the finger on the button there.
Stan had a question for David. I'm kind of curious for what it is personally.
I was just wondering that when you spoke to, you said that you met Arsene Wenger. At any point in the conversation, did he say the word yes? And in his way, like you must have asked him a question. He went yes. In the way that he talks, I said yeah.
He was exactly how he is on the TV. The guy's an
Look,
absolute gentleman.
Did he go, look?
Absolute gentleman. Absolute gentleman. I tell you what a lovely, lovely guy. Yeah.
Was that? How was that? What was the setting?
It was just he was on the plane and my manager wanted a photo with him.
We were on the beach, me and Austin having a picnic.
I sorted it out, and he sort of gestured, "Did I want a photograph with him?" And I was like,
"Oh, nice."
Yeah,
you should have went, yes.
No, Mr. Wenger.
Look,
I am a Leeds supporter. No, thank you.
Did you get him? Did he actually do the Leeds salute to you?
I did. I didn't say bye-bye to him as he left the plane.
But he knew what it was, right?
I said, "I'm not going to say goodbye to you, Mr. Wenger. Please, please, please." And shouted it at him, and he just laughed. Lovely guy.
Oh, nice.
Lovely guy.
I bet he knows our salute though, based on how many times it faced him when in adversarial settings for himself.
Yeah. We did all right back then. We did a few games, didn't we? Did all right. Scored a few goals here and there. But yeah, good days. Good days to be repeated. And we didn't even get on about the 53-seater stadium we're going to get either.
53-seater stadium.
53,000. You know what I mean?
53 more
53-seater.
No, the 53-seater stadium. I was out at the Etihad and they were doing all this construction and they're like, "Oh, look, we're adding all these extra seats," and I just went, "Why?
Why?"
And they're like, "Pizza." As Domino's tweeted that,
what do you need more seats for?
Manchester City increasing inside the Etihad is what Domino's Pizza would say is if they increased the size of the boxes but kept the pizza the same size.
They're probably just put in an extra seat for
and
the Oasis
now
concert.
Introducing.
Take them out again.
Yeah, it's all for the Oasis concert for sure. Absolutely.
What's the stadium like behind the scenes? Because I've never been there.
Like
nothing.
Like nothing. Inside is just like little hallways with nothing, with absolutely nothing. Like at least at Arsenal, they were like places to stand and spread out and windows, and like this was like hallway. You walk from here to here. There was like the food, drinks, and that was it.
No
we went down a level.
No rainbow
bigger.
murals in there. Then.
Is it concrete or what? I mean,
all
is it
concrete? All concrete. Yeah, really? It's a very modern stadium, but like
we got
maybe
renovations
on the
happening.
First level,
minimalistic.
We got renovations about to start. I watched a video just the other week about renovations.
So they have a bunch of renovations starting, but it looks like they're adding
like
massive rows of seats. No, at Etihad.
What they increase?
I'm talking about the Emirates.
Oh, what are they doing at the Emirates?
At Arsenal, yeah. There's a video online on YouTube. It just popped up on my feed, and they were like talking about they're going to be changing the fascia, and they're going to be doing a lot of work inside. You know, making better sort of lounge areas and all this. It's on YouTube. It looked quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Because I could be wrong here, but it feels a lot like Arsenal. You did your stadium like. Your new stadium and the capacity increase at like the wrong time, because then after you finish paying it off, then every other club it felt like your rivals basically like, "Oh, we're going to do ours," but then they had access to even more new technology.
Yeah,
like
because
Tottenham,
we did it right before all the money came in.
Yeah,
for
obviously you have no way of knowing that. But that's how
you got to remember though, right? Highbury, you know, all through that era, Highbury only had a capacity of 38,000.
Yeah,
and you can compare that to like a Manchester United, right? I mean, that's a real. That's nothing, is it?
Yeah. But I have to say, at the Emirates, every level that you go to, there's all sorts of Arsenal history up on the wall. There's all sorts of. It just seemed a lot more interactive. And then at City, it was like gray, just concrete. Like we were there hours early, and we're just kind of sitting there in like a concrete. Like it felt like we were in a holding cell. There's no TVs, no anything. There were other matches going on.
It is Manchester.
They
It is
strip
Anita and I
search you
literally
before you
sat
go
there
through the
and
third
talked about we talked about mental health for an hour and a half
cavity search.
because there was nothing else to fucking talk about.
They film episodes of Locked Up Abroad there.
Yeah, you totally could. You totally could. And then like there's no windows or anything, so you can't like see out. It's just.
So are you describing the Etihad Stadium or like your holiday to United Arab Emirates? Because
I'm sure the United Arab Emirates
Park.
would be a lot fancier than that fucking place.
not if you turned up in the big rainbow scarf.
I didn't turn up to the fucking Etihad in a rainbow scarf either.
Maybe
they would have treated me better if I did.
If you were to see the interesting sights of the Manchester City holding cell.
Yeah.
Well, and Manchester's a weird place as well because, like, walking around.
There we go.
Because everyone has
walking
6 fingers and toes.
Well, no, walking around the city.
No, that's Norwich. That's Norwich. Everybody knows that.
That's correct.
Walking around the city on game day, and the Manchester City women were playing Arsenal women earlier in the day, so that was
Orcs
on
everywhere
TV.
on horseback.
I saw just as many other Premier League kits as I saw Man City kits. It seems like a very university town where I don't know. I wasn't intimidated. I wasn't wearing Arsenal, but I didn't feel like overwhelmed by Manchester City fans or anything there. So maybe it's because I was in the middle, the downtown.
They're not what they were back in the 70s and 80s. I think it's fair to say.
Neither am I.
They are a tourist club.
They are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
guys, we're here at the end of our 2-hour show. I hope you guys have enjoyed talking with us and listening to us. We didn't even get to our game Matchweek 6 predictions, but I'll just say, let's go. I'm going Newcastle, Arsenal, Brentford, Chelsea, Palace, Fulham, Liverpool, Villa, draw, and Bournemouth. There you go.
Well, we've already done 3 of those games, so we know your predictions aren't right.
Well, you're going with Tom?
Yeah.
That's
clearly
a clever move in
this
situation.
What did you say?
Clearly,
What did you say
clearly
for,
it's Leicester, Wolves, and Ipswich. Clearly.
Clearly.
Leicester, Wolves,
That's where my pound's
Ipswich.
going.
Of course. If anything, if you've truly got the bollocks for it, just put £1 on all 3 to win.
Listen.
Tom.
I've got my cards ready to put that bet on as soon as we finish this show.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I've made it even easier for you. I'm like, you don't even have to have the correct score. I mean, if you do have the correct score, and then you get all 3 correct scores, don't even bother going to work on Monday.
I intend to pay off my mortgages this week.
What did you have down for Manchester United and Spurs? What did you say was happening there?
Draw.
Yeah. I'll actually do the Sunday afternoon game, but it was basically the kind of match where you don't want either to win. So.
No.
So Tom, legit.
And I'd like a 2-1 Spurs win on that. I think.
Tom, legit question.
Yep.
That'll do me.
Go on, Lolo.
This weekend, I'm looking at these. It may be a good one. What if you did an all matches, both teams to score? It looks doable, right? If Wolves can score against Liverpool.
If you're willing to wait.
Can't see that. Can't see that.
But, I mean, this is one of the better weeks for both teams to score, I'd say. Newcastle has a chance to score against City at home. Southampton, Bournemouth. They're not incredible at the back. Ipswich against Villa, that's tough. United Spurs could totally be a 0-0.
Yeah.
But
we know Leicester are going to get 3.
Yeah, and Arsenal will get
That's
1. So there you go. Both teams to score.
Yeah.
That's what would have been foretold.
I'm just thinking on these generic bets of both teams to score.
How much? Right, just a random guess. How much do you think they're offering on Arsenal to go unbeaten in the EPL?
1,000 to 1.
No,
it wouldn't be that much. No. They wouldn't. They're not going to throw it away, are they?
Because you don't have to. Keep in mind, you don't have to win every game for this bet to win.
You
could actually draw every game.
It's happened once in
Stan
history.
said earlier, as Stan said earlier, was it 7 draws?
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
12.
No,
12 draws.
12.
26 and 12.
I mean, it's still impressive, however you slice it. But...
Yeah, it's very impressive. But the thing was, the football wasn't always the best football.
That happened
that
one
particular
time.
season. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with what you're saying, Lola. I totally agree. But I'm just saying, the football, the real Arsenal as we remember how they were back then, it wasn't that particular season. That was they were
grinding.
They
that was a grinding city.
But it got
to a point where you were just not losing games.
Got to the Champions League final as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Barcelona, but we don't talk about that.
But the Invincible season, it got to a stage.
Another fucking red card for kicking the ball away. A red card for kicking the ball away. Hey, Stan.
Stop it.
Hey, Stan, there's a lot of similarities.
I know. Seriously, yeah. The
red
RVP.
card for kicking the ball away.
I tweeted that out. I said shades of RVP there. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it reminded me of.
Let's do it. I'll take it. I'll take the Champions League final and an invincible season with the title.
Stop that Gunners victim complex, guys. Give it up.
What was the
move on?
What was the odds for that thing then? The Invincibles?
18 to 1.
I was going to say I said 11, 15.
For both teams.
No. They're offering it separately. Man City unbeaten 18 to 1. And Arsenal unbeaten 18 to 1.
Yeah.
18 to 1?
Yeah. Well, because you haven't got to win every game,
but you're going to win. You're not going to lose many games. That's why they give it, isn't it? You know.
Listen. I don't give a shit. It's happened one time.
Yeah, probably.
It shows you how hard it is to fucking do. 18 to 1. There's similar odds to Kai Havertz getting the first goal of the match. Like that's what 18 to 1.
We almost done it under George Graham, didn't we? We lost one game one season under George Graham.
Yeah,
I think it was to Chelsea.
1-0.
In fact,
very difficult to do today, though.
Curiosity.
I don't know. All right, guys. Well, we're going to call this show a wrap. I hope you all liked our predictions here as we predicted some things, but thank you so much for joining us, Stan, Mr. Tom, David. Let us know where we can see you guys throughout the week. What shows are you guys doing throughout the week? Nothing. Okay, moving on.
That one. Yeah. I'm doing the lead show on Sunday night. I'm guessing it's Sunday night. It says it's Sunday night. Other than that, I'm pretty free for the rest of the week. So I'll probably go and eat a kilo of chicken wings or something like that.
Yeah,
so
sounds about right.
I think you need to move up to 2 kilos. I think you need to surprise them the next time when they were like, do you want 7 chicken wings or a kilo? And you said, how much for 2 kilos? And then they bring you 2 bowls.
In my defense, you hadn't even looked at the menu yet. And I straight away, I knew what I wanted. I was like, I want a kilo of chicken wings.
She did say, what can I get you guys to drink? And you said, a kilo of chicken wings, please.
Yeah, that's true. True. That's exactly what happened. Also, Gary's shows tomorrow afternoon, and
you know what? Maybe Tom, you should just change the title of your show to "Kilo of Chicken Wings," featuring Leeds United or something, and it might. Who knows?
Who knows? You're right.
Then you're like, we don't know if this is a 1-hour show or a 2-hour show, but it goes as long as it takes me to eat 1 kilo of chicken wings. All right, everybody.
And I'll be on our
talking to you guys.
Hang on, I'll be on Arsenal Fan Circle on Sundays, every Sunday, and also Thursdays as well. Most of you probably know.
What they talk about on the Arsenal fan circle, Stan, for anyone that
we talk about
mostly Bournemouth.
More
Ball
Arsenal
placement.
talk? Great.
Ball placement
Can't wait.
and
Can't
goalkeepers.
wait.
But where Doku places the ball, right?
I just like that John hasn't missed Mark this much in forever. He's just like, I can't believe I'm missing Mark right now.
So Mark is actually the reason why there are periods without Arsenal talk. You can't miss someone if they don't go away.
At least when he's not here, everybody else can talk. Hello, Mark, wherever you are.
All right, guys. If you saw that link down there, you can go ahead and click that link and join us backstage for a little bit. We'll be backstage talking even more shit. But much love to you guys from Brooklyn. Once again, I hope all of your teams lose except for Arsenal and Leeds United. There you go. But actually, that's not true because I'd like Newcastle to win. And I would also like... what is it? Ipswich? I'd like Ipswich to win as well.
I wouldn't mind if Ipswich won 3-2.
Best of luck tomorrow. Much love from Brooklyn, everybody. Thank you, Director John, for all your hard work as well. Peace.